Spider-Man Brand New Day is coming out, and your friends invited you to watch Spider-Man. But oh no, you don't know the backstory, you don't know the juicy lore. You're wondering what to do. Do you watch all of the films to catch up, but you don't have time, you're a busy man, woman, or creature of the abyss? But don't worry, we got you sorted. Or maybe you have watched all of it. You watched all the MCU Spider-Man stuff, but you need a refresher. Either way, we're here for you. That's why we're here to help you. This is a recap of all things MCU Spider-Man, Tom Holland's trilogy coming up to Brand New Day, and we're going to refresh you, do your homework for you, so you don't have to watch all of them again. Let's do it! So we'll start at the beginning. Spider-Man is a dude who was bitten by a radioactive spider, which gave him powers. So far there's been 3 versions of Spider-Man in Hollywood. Those are Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. Tom Holland is the only one who's having his 4th solo film, and his journey goes over a few films. Films such as Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home. So we're going to look at key events from these films from Spider-Man's point of view, key characters as well as a summary, and we start with his first mention, which is in the Antman film.
Well, we got everything nowadays. We got a guy who jumps, we got a guy who swings, we got a guy who crawls up the walls.
After that, we finally meet Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. We're first introduced to Spider-Man in the Civil War film. Civil War is a film where the world governments believe the side effects of the heroes deserves more accountability, so after they save the day they usually mash up the place. So they say all heroes need to be registered. Some agree and others think it's a bit crazy to let the government dictate what they can and can't do. But this is where we meet Spider-Man, because Iron Man needs help arresting Captain America, and Spider-Man is a character that's off the grid that he can use to help him. Iron Man will be a key person going into Spider-Man's lore in the MCU, and he dictates a lot. There's a mentor-mentee relationship with them both going on. We meet him in his aunt's place, where Tony chats up his aunt, but then soon goes into talking to Peter, and he shows footage showing he's clearly been watching and observing Spider-Man, but also Spider-Man has been Spider-Manning for quite a bit. Then he recruits him after hearing about why Spider-Man does the things that he does. The next bit is we see him appear at the airport, which is an iconic scene where he fights the Team Captain America. So he pops up grabbing Cap's shield, which is a big trailer moment, before joining in a fight to detain Captain America's team. He does such crazy things as stopping Bucky's arm mid-punch, takes down Falcon, fights with Captain America before helping to take down Giant Man. So all of these are quite interesting considering he's a boy. This shows his strength because he's stopping some characters who are trained fighters, soldiers, and he's doing it with ease and joking at the same time. He's told to stay after getting knocked down after taking down Giant Man, and after we don't see him again until his next appearance. Technically it's a post-credit scene we do see him in, where he just looks at the Stark tech that he has been given with the outfit, but we don't see him again until his next appearance. So Junior, what was Spider-Man doing in Homecoming?
Quick summary of the film. Takes place after Avengers Civil War, where Spider-Man helped out Tony's team, and while he's trying to prove himself as Spider-Man and that he kind of has earned the right to be an Avenger as well as a full-fledged superhero now, we have Peter Parker investigating or being thrust into an investigation of Vulture, or Michael Keaton's character, who is using Chitauri technology that he stole from the Battle of New York. So the film also alludes to Avengers 1 in a way that he was doing cleanup operations and he was taking apart Chitauri technology. Now he's repurposing it into weapons, and Peter Parker finds out about that and he begins to investigate it, and it's ultimately he wants to prove himself to Tony Stark that he is, worthy of being the superhero that he can see or sense Tony Stark sees in him, as well as, being given that amazing suit that he was given by Tony. He wants to earn that by showing he's good enough to kind of be in the room, sort of thing. So essentially the film is about Peter trying to discover who he is as Spider-Man, who he is as Peter Parker, as he's going through this build up to homecoming ceremony for high school, and finding out that, I really like this girl, and I'm going through these kind of hormonal changes as a teenager, but I'm also trying to figure out how I'm going to become a superhero and what kind of superhero I want to be. So his character arc in that film very much follows that same sort of trajectory. It's about a boy who's trying to prove himself, who feels like he's finally found a father figure in someone like Tony Stark, and wanting to prove himself to him and wanting to show that he's good enough to have earned the trust and the respect from this father figure that he has, or that he's gained through Tony Stark. And of course he's kind of doubling as a mentor as well. So essentially we also have the arc of Spider-Man going from kind of a nobody, and Peter Parker also being a nobody, to being someone who's kind of thrust more into a specific spotlight of trying to be someone who he doesn't know he fully is yet. He doesn't know what kind of Spider-Man he really wants to be. He doesn't know what kind of Peter Parker he really wants to be, but he's trying to figure it out as he goes along, all while remaining humble in a way that he's never trying to allude to being someone better or bigger than he is, but he's trying to figure out where he fits into the whole scale of superhero, being a superhero essentially, and trying to find that balance between being a regular guy and Spider-Man as well.
Avengers Infinity War is Spider-Man's next destination, is the next time we see him. He plays a small but important part in the Infinity War film. So, Infinity War is a film where the villain is Thanos. His goal is to use powerful items called Infinity Stones to wipe out half of the universe so that the resources like food, etc. won't run out. This is where Spider-Man comes in. We first meet Pete while he's on the school bus, I'm guessing on a school trip, when he sees one of the ships that belong to Thanos' Mandem, or his followers, whatever you want to call them. Because one of those stones that I mentioned before, the Infinity Stones, is with Doctor Strange, and they want to retrieve that from him. So Pete, who is with Ned, who is another key character, his best friend, they notice the ship, and before Pete actually gets to ask Ned to make a distraction for him, Ned freaks out, which distracts everyone, which allows Pete to swing out and go to help. We see Pete joins up with Iron Man mid-fight, which again shows his strength, coping with the fight with ease. But before he gets to continue, he's told by Iron Man being doctor-napped? Because it's not kidnapped, but you get what I mean. So he's been kidnapped at that point in time, so Spider-Man's been tasked to help save him basically. But while he's trying to do this, Spider-Man gets pulled up until he's on the ship as it's about to leave the Earth atmosphere. And because he's losing oxygen, Iron Man sends up the new Iron Spider suit so that he can breathe, but also as well so it can bring him back down to Earth safely with a parachute that's installed in the suit. But because Pete is a good guy and he's trying to do his best and is a bit naive in a way, he wants to help. He sneaks onto the ship as it leaves Earth. After a while, and surprising Iron Man, Tony Stark, that he's still on the ship, after they have a little discussion, they get to business and they both see Doctor Strange as captured. And they work together to make a plan to get rid of Ebony Maw, who is the guy that's captured Doctor Strange. This is where Pete meets Doctor Strange for the first time and also gets given the title of an Avenger, or Honor of an Avenger, by Iron Man himself. And this is a little happy moment considering that's what he wanted in our whole Homecoming film. And it's ironic now that when he passed up on those things, now he finally gets them. Pete is next seen with the group known as the Guardians of the Galaxy. There's only a portion of them here because they are split up during the film. And they're looking for one of their members, Gamora, who's been taken by Thanos when they last saw her and him as well. So after a little bit of a confrontation, they team up and hatch a plan to get the gauntlet of Thanos. And a quick explanation, the gauntlet holds all the Infinity Stones, and when he gets all the stones, he can do his ambition or want to be able to destroy half the life in the universe. But he doesn't see it as that. But that's a chat for another day. When the Avengers that are here and the Guardians struggle to get the gauntlet off Thanos, we can see Pete's strength, because again, when he's fighting Thanos and surviving against a guy that previously beat up Thor and the Hulk, it suggests how strong Pete is. Yes, he has the suit, but again, we're seeing his athleticism and also his strength as well. Things seem to be going well as they nearly get the glove off Thanos, but Star-Lord, like an idiot, stupidly lashes out at the worst time, meaning Thanos gets out of his trance and then proceeds to beat the rest of the Avengers and the Guardians like they owe him money. Things go from bad to worse because finally we see Thanos get all of the stones, and then he completes his goal of using the gauntlet to wipe out of existence, and we see the repercussions because heroes start disappearing, and that goes to Peter at the end. He is the last one on Titan, which is the planet they've been fighting Thanos in, to disappear out of existence, and there's an emotional scene there, and people theorize the reason why he can sense it is because of his Spidey sense. So Pete, as well as other characters like Doctor Strange, disappear out of existence. The end. Or is it? What happens next, Junior?
While you're here, we ask if you could please like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
Finally, we have a quick summary, and of course, we're still focusing on Spider-Man, so a character arc for him. Basic plot of the film is it takes place, of course, after Infinity War, where the Avengers were left scattered and beaten by Thanos. Half of the universe, wiped out and everything. So the Avengers have to regroup and re-strategize how they're going to basically be able to defeat Thanos. They come across the means by which to defeat him, but also looking for a way to undo what had been done. So you have characters like Spider-Man, some of the Guardians of the Galaxy, some of the Avengers as well also were disappeared or blipped. And it's about Tony Stark and a couple of the OG Avengers getting back together to basically undo what Thanos did. And they, of course, achieved that, as well as having an absolutely insane kind of, well, it's like a war almost at the end of the film, where they have a few characters and die off like permanently, but Spider-Man is not one of them. So his character arc in this film is a little bit interesting, as he's not in the film for very long. Spider-Man comes back, as well as a few other Avengers who, like I said, were blipped, and he jumps straight into action. So it's about him being able to get right back into helping the Avengers to be able to defeat Thanos, and he's doing his best to be able to fit back into the dynamic of the team after being not sacrificed, but he was a casualty of the war. He's been brought back into that dynamic, that mental dynamic with Tony Stark, with his mentor and his friend. Sadly, at the end of the film, he loses that, but it's still seeing how he looks for. Now we're blending into how I think this can affect Brand New Day. Is we're now looking forward to seeing how he continues to deal with Tony Stark's absence, with him being gone, having a lot of the other Avengers no longer, well, he doesn't have access to them, and they're no longer his friends, and they're no longer people that he knows or that will know him having to reconnect with a lot of them. So people like the Hulk, who we know is going to be in Brand New Day, seeing him have to interact with him and figure out, will this man be able to figure out who I am and know who I am and figure out and all that kind of stuff. You never know. You could see Doctor Strange for a second. Even he might also still remember Spider-Man and Peter Parker. He might, which would be quite cool to see. So it will be more, I think, Brand New Day having interactions with people who are in Endgame and seeing how he's going to interact with them and seeing how they might look at him or view him now, not knowing that he knows them and that they don't know him. So let's see what happens. I think it will be really cool.
Now to one of the most unappreciated but one of my personal favourite Spider-Man films, Spider-Man Far From Home. This film starts off one of Pete's biggest character arcs. If you notice, in the background of this film is constant pictures of Iron Man, who's passed away. Initially I thought that was very weird, considering other Avengers also did pass away. but it also acts as a theme for this film, where Iron Man's looming over Peter in the background. He feels the weight of having to be Iron Man's successor and also just wanting to be a kid as well. His main interest in this film is Michelle Jones, who is known as MJ, a big character in his life as well. And just some extra lore, if you don't know already, these two are married in real life and they seem to be getting on quite well, which is really lovely. So he's planning on asking out MJ on a school trip. He's decided that he likes her and he's trying to figure out a plan and a way to make this actually happen. But despite being Spider-Man, he wants a break after the death of his mentor and being in space and all the craziness of the past 2 films that have just happened. He just wants to be a child. So he leaves his costume at home, but his aunt, May, who is another key character as well, insists he brings his costume with him, so much so she even packs it for him. On this trip, he gets a special necklace, which could actually be, I think, is going to be key in Brand New Day. MJ is quite a tinfoil hat kind of gal and a conspiracy theorist,
on your phone just so that the government can't track you while we're abroad.
as well as having a more dark sense of humor, and the necklace in question is called a Black Dahlia necklace. She appreciates the Black Dahlias for their link to the famous 1947 true crime murder case, which is something that she likes.
Her favorite flower is the Black Dahlia.
A bit deeper than surface level, which again Pete likes about her in this film. And it says a lot about him and her relationship that he knows that she would like this so much. So on this trip, his class goes on trips abroad internationally, but they're also attacked by monsters made from different elements. So one of them is made out of water and another one is fire based as well. Along with the elementals comes a brand new hero named Mysterio, who initially is a mentor for Pete, encourage him to pursue his duties as a hero, but also as well to chase MJ to a bit of
tell you just turn around, run away from all this.
And also as well, Nick Fury appears, who gives Pete glasses that Tony Stark left for Pete, which controls drone and other technologies and resources left as an inheritance for him.
Stark left these for you.
After some back and forth with Nick Fury and also Mysterio as well, Pete does the right thing and helps them out as they defeat the monsters, and Pete is very happy because now he can just focus on his holiday and not have to focus on being a superhero. Along with not wanting all these extra responsibilities, Pete feels that he's too young and immature to be given such a big responsibility. So Pete gives the glasses that were given to him to Mysterio, as he feels that he's a sensible, mature head and a kind person and someone who's willing to sacrifice himself. So he thinks these are the perfect person to give these glasses to. But there's a plot twist.
What?
We find out it's revealed that Mysterio has actually been faking this whole time, using projectors to pretend these monsters are real, and he finds this out interrupting when he's trying to tell MJ how he feels about her. Now comes the awkward bit where Pete tries to get the glasses back from Mysterio. He goes to Nick Fury initially and Maria Hill to spill the beans, but he finds out it's a trap, with Mysterio using the Stark tech to trick Peter, and goes on a mission to kill MJ and Ned because he can't have anyone else finding out that he's actually bad and he's not a good hero, because he's basically trying to sell the idea of being a hero to the rest of the world. So this leads to Peter having to go to London to be able to counter Mysterio. Mysterio initially doesn't know he's alive because he thought he killed him by making a train drive into him. In the end, when he goes to London, they take down Mysterio, and along the way he gets to tell MJ how he really feels about her, and a really nice twist is she likes him back, which is really cute. He even gives her the necklace, which at this point is broken, but she says she prefers that, and I think that will be an important part in Brand New Day. We will get to that at the end of this video, why I think that's an important part. But after beating Mysterio, there is a plot twist, because after he defeats Mysterio, Mysterio leaks a video framing Spider-Man for killing people and Mysterio as well. And then he outs his secret identity.
Spider-Man's
Parker!
How does that affect the next film?
Right, so now we have our next summary of Spider-Man No Way Home, which is the third film in the Tom Holland quadrilogy. Is Spider-Man, or Peter Parker, is looking to find a way to undo or to fix what happened at the end of the previous film, and he goes to Doctor Strange asking for help. He essentially asks Doctor Strange to help him cast a spell, essentially, across the entire well, it ends up being the entire universe, if not more, that will make everyone forget his identity, because at the end of the previous film it was revealed that Spider-Man was Peter Parker, and the beginning of this film is him dealing with that aftermath. So he goes to Doctor Strange to ask him for help. In so doing, in classic Spider-Man fashion, there are hijinks, there's mistakes, there's oopsies that happen, and it ends up drawing in villains from the multiverse. So we have Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man universe, we have Doc Ock and the Goblin, and Sandman, all from the Tobey Maguire universe, and they all end up in the same place, in Tom Holland's universe now. And it's now about Peter trying to undo or fix the mistake that he's made, along with the help of two other Spider-Men, of course, being Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as well. So it's essentially, the character arc in this film is about Spider-Man doing what he often does, is trying to do something that's good and seems like it's a good idea. There being some sort of, like I said before, oopsies, hijinks, mistakes that are made, and rather than turning away from the problem and running away from the problem, Spider-Man does what he always does, which is running straight into it and to try and fix what he's ultimately done, taking responsibility for his mistakes, which is a sign of growth. Throughout the entire trilogy that we see, Spider-Man is trying to be more responsible, even though the initial thing that he asked for is very irresponsible. He takes responsibility for that very mistake. So how do I feel like this film will affect Brand New Day? I mean, Brand New Day doesn't exist if this film doesn't. So essentially, the whole concept of him losing his identity or his place in the universe is the kind of one of the main cornerstones by which Brand New Day will hang upon, even down to his suits, not having access to Iron Man or Tony Stark's technology anymore is a direct response of what happens in No Way Home, which will then affect what happens in Brand New Day and his approach to being Spider-Man. Even his dynamic with MJ and with Ned will now be different because of what happened by the end of No Way Home. And as we see in the final scenes of No Way Home, him trying to create a new kind of normal for himself, and what has become his life now is being like absolute loner. Like there's no one in the world that he can kind of draw close to or be friends with in the same way, or have that kind of connection with that he had before with MJ and with Ned and with Tony Stark and with the Avengers, and all of that stuff's changed. So this film directly affects everything that happens in Brand New Day, because it will then create a Spider-Man who's got a knowledge of the multiverse, a knowledge of other Spider-Men and what happened to them, and how they have been affected in their journey as being Peter Parker and being Spider-Man. It will affect his approach on his tech and how he uses it and how he makes it and how it's not so expendable now, as well as his experiences of interactions with people and trying to find that balance once again of being Peter Parker and being Spider-Man as well. So hugely affects this this next film. I'm looking forward to seeing how much of it kind of pays off or pays into Brand New Day.
So that's the Spider-Man breakdown. It was a good recap. Thanks for staying this long. It'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to this film. It's been one of my most anticipated movies this year in general, and I'm looking forward to it. We've seen 4 most important people in Peter Parker or Spider-Man's life: Iron Man, Aunt May, Ned, his best friend, and MJ disappear from his life for various different reasons. 2 having passed away, 2 there, but they don't know who he is. So Brand New Day, I think, will touch on these different things. The necklace, as I was talking about, I think will be key for MJ remembering him, because there's pictures of her having the necklace on her in the trailers for Brand New Day. So, are you looking forward to Brand New Day? Are you looking forward to any other film? Did you like the recap as well? Did it refresh your mind? Who is your favourite Spider-Man? Let us know Thank you very much for keeping with us. And of course, many people want Spider-Man. You want Spider-Man. And guess what?
I want Spider-Man!